Good morning, friends. Well, the pool is closed, but there it is. What up, DB? There's Table Rock Lake, sun coming up over it. Brad Keller, you know what it's all about. And I haven't been periscoping lately. It's been a busy week, non-stop. It's Dave Barry. I know who DB is. And so haven't been periscoping much lately. Which, if you know me, you know I love meetings. Insert sarcastic emoji there. Oh, there's my friends. I mean, DB, you're my friend too, but here's some cool people. Andy Whaley, Aaron Larva. Aaron, I saw your co-youth pastor. I mean, I know you're not but your fellow worker in the ministry last night, and I need to introduce myself to him, so I'm gonna make that happen. So really wanting to talk to Michigan youth pastors and kids workers and really whoever will listen. It's been fun spending a week. For those who don't know, I've been spending a week at the Children's Directors, Youth Directors Conference in Branson, Missouri. And hey, good morning. Good morning. Branson, Missouri is where I'm at. Where are you at? And Conor McGregor. Does Conor McGregor live in Dublin? California. El Jesus. Gloria Jesus en California. So some of you know that that's where I've been all week. Some of you do not know. Some of you wondered where I've been. Haven't been all over. So it's been nonstop meetings all day, every day. And frankly, I'm a little exhausted. You're on the treadmill? Solid. I just got done with the treadmill. And I bet you've got a better pace than I do. I'll see you soon too. Conor fighter, Roman McGregor. So I put the phrase on there, I know what it is to be in need. Ever since I got this job, and for those who don't know, I serve as the Student Ministries Director for the state of Michigan, which means I get to meet with youth workers, children's workers all over the state and all over the country. And prior to that, I did like to connect with those kind of people. In fact, I loved it. Couldn't help but do it. It's just in my DNA. It's part of who I am. I just love connecting with other church workers, professional ministers, and people that just love Jesus and love to lead people and build teams. Always done that. But now it's my job, and so I really have been loving it. Like, it's just, frankly, it's been like a dream come true. And the Lord is birthing things in my heart that I'm not even sharing yet, because right now I'm just focusing on relationship. And it's been interesting, this journey. It's been about 6 months since I started this new gig. And during those 6 months, I've started connecting with some people. And I think this is normal. I think it's healthy. I think it's perfectly acceptable. But I've discovered that some people are not loving life. And that's not the point of following Jesus, but frankly, I'm always like, people say, how you doing? I don't even say fine. I say I'm loving life or living the dream. And it's not about loving life. It's about loving Jesus. It's about embracing the life that he's given me. And I don't know what that means, but I have run into people who are not loving life. And it's not discouraging, mind you. Like, it would be hard if all I was doing was being with people who weren't living life, because when you're around negative people, it rubs off on you. You start to get that stickiness on your soul, and it's hard to get it off. It's a nasty grime that you get from negative people. I'm not talking about that. I've not been around negative people, but I've run into people that really struggle in ministry, whether it's financial. Sometimes I hear about that in my new job. Some people would say that they've had to make decisions that aren't popular. Therefore, it's been difficult on them and their families to make decisions that aren't popular. And that's been really surprising to me. In 14 years of full-time ministry, I can honestly say I've loved every minute. There's been times that have been hard, but I've loved every minute. Honestly, even on the days when it was difficult, when I was working with people who I just wondered if they loved Jesus at all. I wondered if they had a place in the kingdom. I wondered, just being transparent here and not naming names. And it's been long enough that now I can talk about it freely. Even on those days, I still couldn't believe that I got to do what I got to do. And I was reading Philippians 4, and Paul says, I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty, and I've learned the secret to happiness in all circumstances, being content, what one translation says, in all circumstances, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And so it's been a fun journey, and I just want to encourage people today to embrace that journey, to be content in all circumstances. Now, here's the crazy thing. I can say I know what it is to be in need, because one day I had to balance my checkbook and ask my dad to float $500 over to my checking account so that we could make ends meet, and then I paid him back the next month. But I don't think that's the same thing Paul was talking about when he said he knew what it was to be in need. And if you've ever been to a third world country, and I think everybody should go. In fact, as a student ministries director, one of my goals is that every student would go on a foreign missions trip before they graduate high school. So if you've ever been in a third world country, if you've ever seen real need up close, if you've ever seen people who don't have, it's one thing to say, man, I'm just trying to put food on the table, and maybe to have to take a government handout along the way. It's another thing to really wonder if you're going to be able to scrape together enough recyclables from the local dump to buy beans and rice and a little bit of lard to cook it in. And so I don't know that I really know what it is to be in need. I do know what it is to have a bad day. But let me just say this. In ministry, I am loving life. And I can't ever take a day where I would say, man, this is no good. This is a bummer because of money. This is no good. It's a bummer because someone doesn't understand me and they're talking smack about me. Or someone doesn't think I'm doing my job right. You know, those are all real things that you have to confront, you have to deal with. I love that quote, by the way. Life isn't a destination, it's a trip. It's all about the journey. And so for those in the Michigan district, particularly our student pastors, kids and youth, I just want to encourage you today. Love it. Live it. Live the dream, man. And if something's not right about your situation, if something you feel like is prohibiting you from that, then change it. You know, I've never complained about money. I've always felt like I had more than enough, and I'll tell you numbers if you really want to know. And some of you will be surprised. I don't know, it's just always been enough. Frankly, I feel like I've always been overpaid. When I was technically below the poverty line, I felt like I was overpaid just because I couldn't believe I got paid to do what I got to do. And it was just, I have just loved every minute of it. I want you to love it. I think we're better together, and I think we have an amazing corporate mission, and I think that corporate mission is fueled by corporate fellowship. So let's be better together. Again, for those in the Michigan district, I love you guys, praying for you today, looking at your names in my contact list, shooting a few of you texts today. If you haven't received a text from me, maybe it's because I don't have your number, so shoot that to me on my Facebook, and would love to be in contact with you on a more personal level. So that's all from me. Broadcasting live from Branson, Missouri, meetings all day, every day this week. Some are fun, some are like drinking from a fire hose, and others, I have to go get another cup of coffee. So I love you, I'll see you later. Gotta end the broadcast. Oh, swipe down, there we go. All right, see ya.